Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about the number one food for weight loss. People love knowing about the number one thing, right? As if just change this one thing and you'll just lose weight, right? It's so simple, but I got you today because I'm going to tell you the number one food and I'll make it real simple and easy for you. If you start eating this food, this type of food more, you're going to find that weight loss becomes way easier. And I don't mean you're just going to achieve weight loss. I mean, it's going to be easier. You're going to feel better while you achieve the weight loss, which I don't think people value enough, right? It's not enough just to lose weight and then feel like shit. You want to lose weight and feel energized, feel grounded, feel calm, feel happy, feel good. And this food will do this for you. The other good things, these foods I'm trying to tell you about are inexpensive relatively. So you're going to save money, guaranteed. Your health's going to improve. Your happiness is going to improve. Your body's going to improve. Your blood work's going to improve. And you're going to lose weight. So what is this food? It's the number one food. What is it? It's food. Hold on. We need to make the distinction between food and food stuff. This is a primary distinction you need to have in your mind. You don't have to live by it 100%. I'm not saying you only eat food, but you need to start looking at food and it needs to go in one category or the other. And it's a real simple category. It's either food, the type of food we've been eating for millions of years on planet Earth, or it's food stuff, which is food stuff that we've only been eating for the last 100 years, give or take. And once you start having this distinction, it's a straight, bright line right down the middle. Food, food stuff. The more food you start eating, the less food stuff you eat, the more weight you're going to lose and the easier it's going to be. So what is food, right? If you haven't figured it out yet, food really is fruits, vegetables, whole grains, meat, anything that grows in the earth, anything you look at and you recognize it as food is food. The other stuff needs to be created in a factory. It usually comes in bags or boxes. It's been engineered. It's been made by machines a lot of times. It's the combination of multiple ingredients. Most of those ingredients are not natural in the natural world. They're created. They use chemicals, flavorings, emulsifiers. They use cheap quality ingredients, strip them of all their nutrients and put them together so they can make the substrate for the food they're going to offer you. So we need to understand the difference between food and food stuff. Now, don't freak out because there's a good chance once you recognize this distinction, you're going to say, oh, shit, I pretty much eat mostly food stuff. I don't eat a lot of food. And that's okay. Just relax. That's where most of us start. Not the worst thing in the world. What's worse is to do that and not realize you're doing it. So the second you can realize, oof, I'm eating a little bit too much food stuff, not enough food, now you can start to correct it. And no, whole natural foods do not cost more. I promise you. Go to the store, get some beans, get some vegetables, and find out how much you spend. You're going to find it's way cheaper than going to your local fast food store or getting packaged goods from the grocery store. But the savings is not really felt when you're buying it. It's felt after you finish eating it. And when you eat real food, what happens is it nourishes your body. This is why food helps you lose weight, because real food satisfies you. Food stuff does not. Food stuff is designed with one thing in mind, to sell you more food stuff. Food is designed to nourish your body. So when you eat food, you feel satisfied. Your hunger dissipates. When you eat food stuff, you're always hungry for more. And this is why it's easier to lose weight eating food and why it's easier to save money, because regardless of the fact that the food's usually cheaper than food stuff anyways, the big reason it saves you a lot of money is because you eat less food, because food is designed to nourish and satisfy you, whereas food stuff is designed to get you to want more food stuff. So if you struggle with food noise, the first thing you can do now, knowing this dynamic here, this question we're going to ask, well, I got food noise going all the time. Well, what am I eating typically? And a lot of times you're going to find that a lot of my eating is food stuff. Well, if you're eating a lot of food stuff, yes, you're going to have a lot of food noise because that's what food stuff's designed to do. create lots of food noise in your body and mind so that you eat more of it. When you start eating more food, the food noise settles because the food's doing what it's supposed to. It's nourishing you, satisfying you. And this is the path you want to drive to get to your goal weight because it's easier. So start looking at your food with that distinction. Is it food stuff or is it food? And the more food you eat, the easier time you're going to have and the better you're going to feel. So I hope you enjoy this. And if you want some help making this decision more and internalizing this idea, click the link in my bio and go get the free hypnosis session that I give you. It is called The New Thin Me. It's a Kickstart session. Go check it out. It's right there for you. And it's going to help you. Right. And it is free. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm here to answer them. Craig says, hi, I watch your videos and I'm trying to lose weight. Well, nice job. Yeah, keep watching them. Different idea. What's up, Jen? How's it going? Nice to see you. Andrew says, does that include grains, beans, and legumes? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anything that just grows naturally, 1 or 2 steps removed. I mean, again, when you get into processing, technically chopping a tomato is processing, right? But I mean, again, it's kind of commonsensical is we'll just make it. I mean, the simple thing is if it comes in a box or a bag, it's typically going to be food stuff. If it comes, exposed, it's typically food. That's not always the case, you know what I mean? But generally, so we're looking for 1 ingredient foods, a couple ingredient foods. Now, obviously there's natural good ingredient based foods. I'm not saying that there's not. But what I'm saying is that the more you go towards natural foods, all ingredients you understand, all just like core things that grow in the ground and you eat, the better off you're going to be because we're way off course here, right? I mean, it's just the ultra processed food industry is, it's a big problem. I hope we all know that. Okay. And so we got to look at what we're eating as the first step, and don't freak out if you're eating a lot of it, but it's the first step is to start adding more whole natural foods. Yes. Grains, beans, legumes, fruit, vegetables, meat. Any of these things are going to be dominant over food stuff. So, let's see. I choose my makeup. Can we achieve it overnight? No, you pretty much can't achieve anything overnight. I don't know. I've never really heard much of what you can achieve valuable overnight, right? Pretty much anything that's worthwhile is going to take a little while to achieve, I would imagine. Jen says, was thinking about food versus food stuff. McDonald's brought back the snack wrap. I used to love those things. Now I have zero interest. Now at goal for over 10 months. Yeah, Jen's in the program killing it. And that's what we do in the program is just change the way you think. I feel the same way. McDonald's could come back the healthiest thing they ever made, and I don't give a shit. I have no interest in eating their food at all. McDonald's food is designed to last as long as possible and create the biggest profits possible. Nothing about nutrition or nourishment. And I guess, people say, well, I know, well, it's just junk food. And that's fine too. Okay. I think there's a time and a place for foods that are just about fun. I don't think food should only be about fuel, but I do think food should be mostly about fuel. I mean, what are we doing here? We've really lost the plot when it comes to eating. I mean, Jesus Christ, did you get to live your life? 80% of what you put in your mouth is just going to be for what? Dazzle your tongue. That's going to be a sad end of life. It's just weird. Yeah, I get it, Jen. I totally get that. I think that's how I feel. I don't even their shit. I don't want any of it. It's funny because, I became a vegetarian over 25 years ago now, I think, but part of that back at the time, and there was a couple of reasons I did it, but one big part, I said, well, I'm not gonna have to worry about all the fast food and all the temptation from I love meatball grinders and fast food and meat. I mean, I don't know. A lot of the meat stuff back then, it was just high calorie stuff typically. I was like, well, that was just one more pillar of my decision. But I was like, if I stop eating meat, it's gonna be way easier to make better food choices to live at my weight. But now there's all alternatives, and I know the other one started making vegetarian Whoppers, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want that bun in my body, I don't want those chemicals that they put for flavorings on in my body. I don't want anything to do with it, vegetarian or not. I don't give a shit, And why? It's not even. I know. Oh, you're a health nut. You're a health nut. You know what? It's not even being a health nut. It's like I don't want to eat that shit because I know I'm going to be hungrier. That stuff is just, it's clicking off buttons in my brain and in my body to make me want more of that stuff. So it's like, I don't get on the crazy train. That's why I don't like to eat that food. It's not because I'm just a health nut. I am a health nut too, but to some degree, but it's mostly that I want to live at my goal weight and I want it to be as easy and enjoyable as possible. So the more of that bullshit I eat, do you understand? Let me just explain to you, because I don't think people realize now. I know for a fact they don't realize the processed food industry is bonkers, because subconsciously you always think like recipes and food is coming from people in kitchens trying different recipes and seeing what's best. But that is not how it works anymore. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, when they're creating a flavor now, they put people into an fMRI machine and they scan their brain in real time while they drip different ice cream concoctions onto their tongue. And what they're doing is they're looking for which concoctions light up their pleasure centers the most. And I say this to you just so you get a sense of what you're really up against. It's not you just trying to, not eat an extra of your grandma's cookies. This is a whole nother thing. You're really up against a lot. So I like not that stuff. Craig says, what about canned products? I mean, canned products, like, again, I'm okay with canned products. You know what I mean? Obviously, ideally, fresh whole foods is ideal. You know what I mean? But well, beans, for example, sometimes with beans, canned beans in some ways are healthier than beans that you would get and cook at your house, because canned beans are cooked at a higher temperature. So they release more, there's more bioavailability of some nutrients that way. Right. So in that sense of processing is better in that way. Okay. More what I'm talking about is almost like the amount of ingredients in it. Now, again, I say that's kind of a catch-all, because rarely are there just like all healthy ingredients put in stuff. I don't mean that, but you know what I mean? So like, again, beans, you're going to look in beans and there's going to be like beans, maybe some little bit of preservative or something like that, versus, some shit ass brand of like refried beans, and you'll look in there and they'll put a bunch of gunk and stuff. Now, again, there's good versions of that too. So again, there are relative terms, but it's basically just opting consistently towards more natural. And so I know I'm keeping it kind of vague, because I think that serves this discussion better than having strict rules, because there's always exceptions. But, generally choosing the food that is more natural. Well, what does that mean? So kind of driving that. Laura says, thanks for the birthday gift. Hypnosis made a donation. Great idea. Really enjoying the podcast. Worried that I might be in a honeymoon phase, but still feeling highly motivated to learn more. Well, thank you, Laura. I really appreciate you donating. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, it was my birthday this weekend, and I did this last year and I thought I'd do it again, but I gave away a hypnosis session. It's called the First 5 Pounds. So if you want that session, make sure you go and opt into click the link in my bio or go to programyourselfthin.com. Go get on my email list, because I'll send out another email today and for the next couple of days about that session. Go check it out. It's free, right? So now you get 2 sessions. You get the new Thin Me, and you get the First 5 Pounds. The First 5 Pounds is one you listen to for the next 5 days. You listen to it each day. It's about 10 minutes or so. And that'll start to calm you down and program you to start losing weight, right? At least it's focused on the first 5 pounds. So that's free. I'm just giving it to you. And again, if you'd like to make a donation, that'd be great. It's for the Brick House. Brick House is a local community resource center I'm on the board of. And boy, they do some great work, and it's awesome. It's tough times out there for people. And I think that there's less and less resources available if you don't know that, and regardless of however you feel about that, there are people out there that need help. And so one thing we do at the Brick House is we really do, with no bureaucratic bullshit, no political bullshit. We just get the money in, we give the money out, and we run a food pantry. We have a teen center, and we offer parent family services and direct needs help as well. And we just help everyone for free. So it's a really, really great organization. So yeah, if you get in there, go check that out. And you can donate. Anything helps. So thank you so much, Laura. I really, really appreciate it. In terms of the honeymoon phase, again, I don't know if you're in the program yourself, then this honeymoon phase is real, right? That's a real thing. Obviously, you know that. We all know that. We come across something new, we get excited, so this is where, I say this all the time, and I want to make a crystal clear distinction here. I don't want to go into pitch mode. I'm not sitting here promoting my program for a second, but I am going to talk about making a commitment too. And so please understand, I want to make crystal clear. I'm talking about my program and it can sound like I'm selling it. I don't want to sound like that here, because on the podcast, I'm just here to help you all. But I do think, yes, sometimes you come into contact with things, you get excited, but change doesn't happen through excitement. Commitment has the potential to happen through excitement. So when you get excited about something, you've got to make some kind of commitment. You've got to make a commitment that's going to surpass the excitement phase that you're going to go through. Okay. And that's what Program Yourself Thin is partly there for. Now I'm here every day. I'm here for the rest. Well, I'm going to say for the rest of my life. I don't know about that, but for at least the foreseeable future, I'm here every day to help you all out. Okay. But yes, there's a huge difference for people that just kind of show up every day and listen to this and people that invest in the program. Right. So in Program Yourself Thin, I mean, you get the goal weight blueprint that you're going to go through. Right? Not the physical one yet. Okay. So I just want to make clear this is an upgrade. If you want to buy the actual physical book, you can, but you get the PDF version is in the program. And what we do is it's 144 pages. This becomes your blueprint. What do I do? And the first thing we start with, right? So this whole program is built around the goal weight pyramid, mindset, lifestyle, eating. The very first thing in mindset we work on is motivation. Motivation. So you go through the questions that help you identify what is your motivation? What is the motivation for you that's going to get you to go past the excitement phase? And that's the type of stuff we do. And I only say that to you that it just shows that most people have no idea how to run their minds, right? So it's like you start your weight loss thing when you're real excited, and then you just wait for that motivation to fade, because you don't know how to generate motivation. You don't know what really inspires you. And without understanding motivation, it's really hard to succeed with this. So I'm not saying you have to get Program Yourself Thin either. You can make other commitments, but Laura, you've got to make some kind of commitment outside of yourself that's going to, go past your, the honeymoon phase. And thanks for donating again. Thank you. Someone said a link. I'm going to give you a link. Go check this one out, because I want you to get the free hypnosis session I give you. And so if you're, so I just put that there. That's the link to go get the free hypnosis session. And once you get on there, I'll send you a link today. I'm going to send you another link for that other free session. And if you choose to donate, you can do that as well through the link. Nancy says, thank you. Enjoy your content. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. Rain gives me the hearts. Thank you very much, Rain. Craig says, I even share your videos. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Craig says, like, no hamburger helper. Yes, exactly. I would probably eat the hamburger, but not the hamburger helper. And I'm vegetarian, so I'm not going to eat either. But yeah, and no, listen, I'm not never going to eat hamburger helper. Perhaps, what will happen though is if you start eating more healthy and natural, whole natural foods, is your taste profile changes a bit, and so that stuff tends not to be as you don't like it as much. But yeah, I would look to more meat, plain meat, burger, whatever, and less flavorings and stuff like that. So yes. Rain says, I've been struggling to be consistent, always day one. How to really move forward towards that positive change in my diet and healthy lifestyle? Thanks. Yeah, that's a great question, Rain. So let's talk a little bit, because I think most people are used to the day one, going to start tomorrow routine. And again, this is what I mean. This is where you have to take a step back and reflect on your attempts to lose weight in the past. And usually your attempts to lose weight in the past are always the same, where it's basically, it's really you just spontaneously getting fired up that you got to lose weight, and then say, oh, I'm just going to do this. And most people just kind of fall back into what they know. So some people, it's Weight Watchers. Some people, it's intermittent fasting. Some people, they're going to track every calorie. So usually people have kind of like a pattern. It's okay, that's it. It's time to do this. And they'll just do what they've done in the past a bunch of times. It hasn't worked. That's what I see most people doing with weight loss, is they will do the same thing. If we get to the time they're 60, they've done the same thing 20, 30, 40 times, and it doesn't work. So again, Program Yourself Thin really recognizes that and says, let's take a step out and do things differently. And this is why I say every diet's exactly the same. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. It doesn't matter if you're carnivore, vegan, Jenny Craig, South Beach, intermittent fasting. It literally, pick any diet you want to pick. It's always the problem of a mindset, because it's not the nutritional problem. Right now, again, I could pick different diets and what's good and what's bad about them, but I'm not going to do that, because what I'm saying to you is, regardless of what diet you think you should do, the problem starts in your mind. Because no matter what diet you pick, you're going to start that diet 100% on day one. That's what you're going to do. Day one, you're going to be 100% carnivore, 100% Jenny Craig, 100% tracking every calorie. You go into it 100%. And your goal in your mind is that I'm going to go to 100% and change everything instantly. And then I'm going to ride that change out until I get to my goal weight. And you approach the diet every single time with that exact same mindset. It's time for you to take a step back and look at that. It makes no fucking sense. It's never going to work for you. You make over 200 food decisions a day. So this idea that, Joe, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Stop, boop, stop, pause. Let's rewind that. What did you just say to me? Oh, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's not true. That's not true. You've been told what to do a bunch of times and you haven't been able to just get yourself to do it. Not for long. Right? So again, we've got to recognize that. And once you recognize that, now it gives us a little bit of sense. Okay, let me do this a little different. Well, what's the difference? Well, the first thing I'd suggest is stop trying to change everything all at once. Well, I know you're impatient. Practice feeling a little more patient. Take this seriously. Do it one more time and do it right. Stop putting time limits on how long you give yourself to lose weight and start committing yourself to learning how to transform your mindset, your lifestyle, and your eating in a way that truly works for you. Learn how to run your mind. Understand yourself. Work with yourself. So again, Rain, what I'm saying to you is that you have kind of you like day one is here. And even when you're thinking of day one and starting a plan, most people get to the point where they don't believe themselves anymore. And why would you? If you've tried joining Weight Watchers and doing Weight Watchers 30 times, why would you be excited and believe in yourself that the 31st time would work? This is what dieters are always asking me, Jim, how come I don't believe that I can do it? Because that plan doesn't work. Now, here's the distinction. It's not you. You're not broken, dieter. The fucking diet's broken. Diets are not built to keep you at your goal weight forever. I'll tell you what diets are for. And I was thinking this, it came crystal clear to me last night. I was thinking diets are meant, listen, okay, let me back it up a little bit. We all need to understand. We all need to start from the same understanding. The diets are not here to help you, folks. The diets that you know about are a branch of the food processing industry. What do I mean? Well, get ready if you've never heard this before. Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Atkins Food Products, owned by the same company, owns Auntie Anne's Pretzels and Cinnabon. Slim Fast is owned by the same company, owns Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. These companies do not want you to think about food differently and not eat their products anymore and live at your healthy goal weight for the rest of your life. That is not what they want. That's not how business works. What diets are doing is they're giving you a way of losing weight that actually does exactly what they want you to do. What is that? What does a food company want more than anything in the world? They want you to be aroused for their food. May sound like a gross way to phrase it, but it's true. What do you think every food commercial is trying to do? What do you think every single food commercial you've ever seen in your life is trying to do to you? They're trying to arouse you to action. They're trying to arouse you to look at that food and want it, to get it, buy it, eat it, and then do it again. That's what food companies want you to do. So why did they buy the diets, right? So, well, diets are the exact opposite. No, they're not. Because every time you go on a diet, subconsciously what's happening is you're getting even more aroused by food. Because the fastest way to improve and increase arousal is to try and restrict it. Make it taboo. And that's what the diets do. Do you come out of diets? When you go off your diet finally, do you feel indifferent to food? Like you're not aroused with food? Or do you feel like you're ready to crash through a wall to eat the food that you've been restricting from yourself? Do you end your diets more or less aroused with food, folks? What do you think? It's not a mistake. It's not a secret. It's very intentional. It's an intentional thing done by multi-billion-dollar companies. And unfortunately, you're just trapped in it as a pawn. So yeah, dieting's not going to do it. It's not you. It's the diet. Diets aren't built to succeed and keep you at your goal weight. If they were, there'd be at least one diet over the last hundreds of years that has been effective. But instead, here we are. Here we are. 2025, there's not a single diet you could tell me that is better statistically than any other diet to keep weight off long term. Maybe Weight Watchers by a percentage point or two. Yep. Marilyn says, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, stay away from it. Yeah, I mean, to some degree. And again, we're not going to stay away from, we're still eat the food stuff sometimes. You know what I mean? Like that's part of this whole process too. It's about moderating it, but it's about primarily really focusing on the natural foods and starting to consistently nudge ourselves to eat more and more and more of it. What's up, Jody? Jody says, I would say I'm always in a honeymoon phase every day, week, month. I'm continuing to learn new things. I've been at goal for over a year, but this program is not just about weight loss. Yes. Well, Jody's a superstar. And yes, I would agree with all of these things Jody just said. It's how I feel too, by the way. I feel like I live my life in the honeymoon phase, like, cause there's just always something new. Like, it's just crazy. And that, yes, program yourself then to make it real simple. We take weight loss, rapid, and personal development. So program yourself then really is about personal development, to be honest. Now, it's also about mastering your weight. But the idea of the personal development is that we're going to weigh what we want to weigh and be the person we want to be so we can live the life we want to live, have the best quality of life. So whatever's important to you in your life, this is about making those areas even better. And so, yeah, that's a key part of what's going on. So I love that description, Jody. I feel exactly the same way that I feel like I'm in that honeymoon phase because there's always more to improve and grow and build on. And it's really fun and exciting. So I'm glad you wrote that, Jody, because that's a better answer than I gave. What's up, Vicky? I saw Vicky. Vicky says, I love the brick house. Thank you so much, Vicky. I saw that donation come in. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. So thank you. They really appreciate it. Craig says, every time I go on a diet, I feel stressed in my mind. Yeah, of course. Folks, do any of you feel more calm when you start a diet? Do you? You know, this is why you don't start. Again, this is the state most people find them in, the suspended kind of animation state where the people think about weight loss 24 hours a day, but don't do anything to actually make it happen. And the reason that's the case is because subconsciously you associate stress and deprivation and boredom and failure to your diets and weight loss attempts. So you avoid it. And so it might be years that you've been thinking about losing weight and haven't done it. And I'm telling you, the core reason why that is not because you're a lazy or weak-willed person. It's because the way you think about how you have to lose weight sucks. You know, it's too hard. It's too depriving. So anyways, TikTok, I'm here too. And I always, not always, but I have been caught up in other places, but I'm here. So this is not a video. Yeah. What's up, Johanna? Johanna says, I thank you so much for your tips. I lost 2.5 kilograms last week. Nice job. Good job, Johanna. Bookworm says, Jim, is it basically calorie deficit? Also, is intermittent fasting good? Yeah, I mean, all weight loss is just intermittent. Wait, no, my bad. All weight loss is calorie deficit, right? Which just means you just reduce your average calorie consumption. You know, that's your weight. Your weight is a reflection of your average calorie consumption. And if you reduce your average calorie consumption over time, your weight's going to go down. So yeah, that's all weight loss. Okay. Is intermittent fasting good? I mean, it's not good or bad. It depends on how it is for you, right? We're all different people. So for some people, intermittent fasting works great, and some people it doesn't. And, you know, give it a shot. It's a great tactic. It's not the whole story. That's what I don't like about intermittent fasting. It's not, intermittent fasting is in everything you need to live at your goal weight. It's a good tactic. And it's a good tactic. 16 hours might be too much for you. It's too much for me. I don't like 16 hours at the moment. I 12, 13 hours. That's an option too. You know, again, the problem I have with intermittent fasting is the diet mentality around it, that it's gotta be so strict. It's gotta be, oh, it's not 16 hours. Those last 2 hours are the main fat burning times. It's bullshit. You figure out what works best for you and build around that. You're going to be in great shape. So those are my kind of suggestions. Some Incognito. Incognito says, happy belated birthday. Mine's tomorrow. Almost birthday twins. I know, right? I know. You know, it's so funny. My daughter's boyfriend, his birthday is on the same day as me too. So it's go crazy. So it's like, it's so funny. I know a lot of people, my sister-in-law is like a day before. It's just so funny. I know a lot of people, but I guess that probably happens to a lot of people too, right? Because you see the world as you see it, right? So you obviously are going to remember people that have birthdays that are close to yours. But anyways, happy birthday, Incognito. Thank you too. What's up, Karen? Happy belated birthday. Thank you. Yes. I had a great time too. We went to, for those of you that don't know this thing, I'll tell you, it's kind of a kept secret, I would say. And I don't know how. It's one of the coolest things to me, but it's in Providence, Rhode Island. It's called Waterfire. And Providence has a canal going through it, you know? And so what they did is they have like an art installation, and they got like a basin too, where you can kind of sit around like a giant basin of water. It's huge. It's big, right? And it's where the canal kind of comes down to, this big basin. And so they put like, you know, like great fireplaces, right? It kind of looks like that. It's like giant though. They're huge. and there's all firewood in there. And so anyways, you walk around town, you can walk along the canals and everything. It's beautiful. And there's just fire all along the water. And I mean, it's like, it's rare. I mean, when they fill this thing up, like each one, they probably put like 10 logs in there. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, it's really cool. And they play like nice music. It's really just so beautiful. And it was beautiful weather out, and we had great dinner. It was a great time. So anyways, Karen sent you another email about the book in the Circle app. You sent me an email, Karen. I did not get that. But you know what? This is going to get, when I write on the back of an envelope, forget it. This is next. So I'm going to do this as soon as I get out of here. I'm going to take care of this for you. All right. Yes. And if you ordered books last week, they got out all before last week. So if you ordered the book, you should be getting it this week within a couple days. So keep an eye out for that, anyone. Roger says intriguing. Yes, this stuff is kind of intriguing, right? Jennifer says, how do you feel about the GLP-1 medications? I really attempt to be as supportive as I can be here. And so I don't like to talk shit about them. I think they have their place. I think they're the best option outside of programming yourself thin. They're certainly better than any diet. I think they're better than gastric bypass surgery at this point. So I want to be supportive. I've people in my program take them sometimes while they go through the program. So yeah, there's that. What I don't like is I get constant ads for them now. I see, especially on TikTok. Oh my God. It's like every other thing is a GLP-1, Serena Williams. Oh my God, in my face. And I don't like that. I don't like that because they make it sound like the only way to lose weight is GLP-1. And I do not believe that. And any day of the week, I will take the GLP-1 success stories versus the Program Yourself Thin success stories. Any day of the week, I'll put them up head to head. And the Program Yourself Thin success stories are way better. So, I mean, that's the reality I live in. Now, I understand not everyone has the time or the energy or the desire to commit to going through Program Yourself Thin. So I recognize that. So if you're not willing to do that or don't want to do that, then I think the GLP-1s are probably your best option. But that being said, again, success against success, on one, you have a person who is taking this injection. Now the food noise has gone down and now they eat less and they're losing weight and they have to take the injection forever. On the other one, you transform yourself from the inside out into a thin and healthy person who's transformed their mindset, lifestyle, and eating. And you have figured out how to eat for yourself, live, and how to think so you can live at your goal weight for the rest of your life. So you don't need any injections. You don't need to keep paying for them. And it really becomes about personal development. So it's not even just about the weight. It's real about becoming the person you want to be. And because you're working on your mindset, you open the door to that. So this isn't just about your weight going down. It's about becoming the person who you want to be. Now, a piece of being the person you want to be is to weigh a different weight too. So that's taken into account, but it's not the primary thing. So GLP-1, the only thing that's going to change is your weight's going to go down. With Program Yourself Thin, your weight's going down, but you're also becoming the person you want to be. You feel more relaxed, more calm, you're more energized, you're more grounded. You know how to manage your emotions. You know what motivates you. You know what foods to eat. You can enjoy food as much as you ever have, if not more, because your desire hasn't been chemically altered. So again, head to head, there's no question. But the question does become, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? And if you don't want to do any of that Program Yourself Thin type work, I haven't seen a lot of alternatives. None of the diets work. There's not a single diet that rises to the top. Not long term, right? Folks, please understand. Yes, you could do a diet. You could do a keto diet and lose some weight on it. You could do any diet and lose some weight on it. What I'm talking about is next year, 2 years from now. There's not a single diet that shows up as being effective 2 years from now. Certainly not keto. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. Craig says, is more water you drink, you lose weight? Is the more water you drink, you lose weight? Not necessarily, but it's certainly, I think water is a super helpful component to getting your weight and your eating under control. So not guaranteed. I mean, you could drink a lot of water and eat a lot of bullshit food and just keep eating and eating and eating too. But I do think water has a tendency to nudge you in the right direction typically. So yes, I think drinking the proper amount of water is really important on this journey. But it's not the only thing either. Okay. So please understand. So again, like you really, I'm going to put a training on this, the goal weight pyramid, and I'm going to get that all to you for free too, by the way. So again, I got so much cool stuff coming up. I know I say this all the time, but it really is happening. The book is phenomenal. I cannot wait for this. We are looking at, I don't even know, this book. It could be out. I want to say next week. I don't want to be crazy and say next week, but it could be. That's certainly in October. This book's going to be out. I cannot wait for you all to get it because I've been able to simply explain my whole system. It's makes me cry. I read this book, I'm just like, I can't believe I finally did it. I will say the hardest part for me of Program Yourself Thin has been explaining it. There's a lot to it. I'm not going to lie. Again, there's these 3 phases of mindset, lifestyle, and eating, and each phase is kind of broken down, right? So this is, I think, what gives you a lot of your power is right now with weight loss for you, you just have to eat better, right? You just got to eat better. And whatever that means to you. For some people, that's going to mean no carbs. Some people, it's going to mean no sugar. Some people, it's going to mean I got to track every calorie. Some people, only for 16 hours. So people have different ideas of what eating right means. But where all people come together is, how are you going to get yourself to eat right? Well, you're just going to use your willpower and force yourself to do it. So pretty much all weight loss is built around the idea that you're going to fight yourself to do the right thing, and then you're going to lose the weight. I think that's total bullshit. I don't buy into that at all. I think the real path to weight mastery is first mindset. Now we break mindset down because, by the way, so let's just say, yeah, Jim, you're right. You know what? Yeah, you got to change your mindset, your lifestyle, and your eating. You're right, Jim. Okay, great. What's a mindset? What's a mindset? How do you change it? I know it's a trick question because I've never heard anyone really answer this. So to me, I'll give you my definition of motive or of mindset that I've found to be very practical over the plus 20 years that I've been doing this, helping people get to control their weight. So in my opinion, mindset in order of importance is motivation. First and foremost, you've got to have the proper motivation. If you don't have the proper motivation, everything's going to feel like a struggle. Okay. I think of motivation metaphorically is like the engine in your car. And if you've got a tiny little broken down engine, the car ain't going very fast. Okay. So to me, the first thing of mindset is motivation. Why am I doing this? Right? How motivated am I? And once you know how to motivate yourself at the proper level, everything else becomes easier. That's the first step. Next one's self-image. How do you think of yourself? How do you identify? If you identify as an overweight sweetaholic, it's going to be a never-ending battle for you. So we want to start during this process, we want to start redefining ourselves as a thin, healthy, happy person that we want to be. The next one is habits. Your habits, your weight's a reflection of your eating habits. And so we need to understand how to change habits. And most dieters are just going to fight against their habits. Well, you should understand what your habits are neuroscientifically, how they work in you. And then strategically, we start to transform your habits. That's what that's all about. The next one's emotions. Do you know how to deal with emotions? Do you know how to deal with the shitty emotions you don't want to feel and the positive emotions you do want to feel? Do you know how to deal with them on a genuine level? Most people don't. They use food to deal with it. So we want to deal with them on a genuine level. That's going to make everything else easier. Next thing's thinking. Do you know how to think like a thin, healthy person? Nuts and bolts. You know questions to ask, how to think, the phrases, how to approach this stuff. And then finally is maintenance. Do you know how to keep going? Not once you get to your goal weight, by the way. I'm talking about how do you get from day 1 to day 2, week 1 to week 2, month 1 to month 2? What do you do when you're stressed? What do you do when life feels like it's falling on all around you? How do you deal with that? Do you have a plan? Do you have any strategies? Most people do not. Okay. So that's what we go through just in the mindset section, right? Then the next one's lifestyle in order of importance: sleep, hydration, relaxation, breathing, nourishment, movement, meditation, gratitude. We start weaving those into your life systematically, comfortably, practically. They start supporting you. So these are the 2 fundamental support systems for you to finally put the eating on top of. Right now, your mindset's probably shit. Your lifestyle is probably messing you up. And then you're trying to just change your eating. And on top of the eating thing, I can't just tell you what to eat. You've got to figure out for yourself what works for you. You're a unique human being. So there's no diet. Oh, just do this. Just do this. Nothing's that simple. You've got to figure out for yourself what works for you. And once you have a plan that's specifically customized to you and it's supported by a healthier lifestyle that gives you energy and a mindset that makes you feel like you can do it, now you're in the game. So anyways, Kiki says, I contend the quality of your life is better while doing PYT than it is when on a GLP. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that, Kiki. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's no question, there's no question that the the quality of your life. Because Program Yourself Thin is all it's aimed at the North Star, the bullseye of Program Yourself Thin is your quality of life. It's not just a number. And we're going to find out. I say this all the time. What you may not know about the GLP-1s is that all the studies on people that didn't have diabetes, and I believe the people that did have diabetes too, all the studies showed 16 months of weight loss on the GLP-1s. So we are about to hit in mass a huge population of people are right around the first of the year. There's going to be a huge population of people that are going to hit that 16-month mark, and they're going to stop losing weight. And they're either going to be at their goal weight or they're not. But then we're going to see how people think about living life on these GLP-1s once the weight loss stops. Because one main issue at the core of weight loss is this, that most people trade the pleasure of the food for the excitement of the scale going down. The pleasure of the food for the pleasure and the excitement of the scale going down. And it's, I don't need that because I get the scale going down. That's what's kind of nourished. That's what's exciting me now. That's what I look forward to, is the scale going down. And GLP-1's not much different. It's a different mechanism because it says, oh, let's just dial down your pleasure and enjoyment of the food. And cool. Okay. So you're living your life and you don't think about food as much. You don't enjoy it as much. You don't think about it as much and you're losing weight. Wow. It's exciting. That's great. But at some point you're going to get to the point where you say, okay, I'm at my goal weight and I'm not losing any more weight. And now it's going to be interesting to see how you're living your life, because you're not going to get, when you go to a birthday party, you're not going to enjoy the meal as much. When you go to a special occasion, you're not going to enjoy the meal as much. When you go on vacation and go get ice cream with everyone, you're not going to enjoy it as much. So I'm curious to see that reality. And I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't read stuff about it. We don't have a big enough population to see how they think. You say, oh, I don't care. I don't care about anything in life as long as I weigh less. We will see. We will see. We will see. Because that's what it does. It lowers your perceived pleasure of food. It makes you feel fuller. Do you enjoy food as much when you're fuller, folks? You say, I don't care. I just want to be thin. I don't even want to think about food. We will see. We will see if you don't want to think about food. I like thinking about food. You don't think I love thinking about food? Friday or Saturday night when I went out for my birthday dinner, delicious Italian restaurant, Providence. You don't think I was excited to eat that dinner? I was excited to eat that dinner. You don't think I liked eating my breakfast cupcakes? I did. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. And I don't think I was talking about this. And I'm curious. I don't know. Maybe people don't give a shit about the pleasure of the food. That's fine. That is fine. I don't know. We will see. We will see. But again, I'm always going to opt for the natural solution, the natural, genuine solution over anything else. But we will see. What's up, X? X says, I start my morning watching your videos to get inspiration. That's awesome. Yeah. It's built that way. Again, even my program is very strategically designed to bookend your day, right? Because the more positive stuff, think about it, folks. What positive messaging are you getting for weight loss? You ever think about that? Where are you getting any positive messages about your health, your happiness, your goal weight? Where are you getting them? And being yelled at to do more, to eat this or don't eat that, the influencer thing, I don't consider to be particularly healthy. So I'm talking about genuinely good, positive messaging that makes you feel good, happy, motivated, and ready to go. And I'm going to guess you're going to struggle to find, you're getting no positive messaging for you. And that's what I attempt to be here. And that's certainly what I am for the people in my program, is that I became a source of just great information going into your mind that helps you. So that's great, X. Good job. You motivate me that losing weight and keeping it off is possible. Yes, it absolutely is possible, folks. It's absolutely possible. But you do need, again, we need more than just changing the eating. I was joking the other day that most people, right? So this is the goal weight pyramid. Most people do about that much of it, right? That's the equivalent of like, here's your meal plan. Here you go. Here's your meal plan. This is what you're going to eat from now on. This is keto. Okay, stop eating carbs. That's about as much of that as you're doing. You're not doing any mindset work. You're not dealing with your motivation, your self-image, your habits, what you think, your emotions, your maintenance. You're not dealing with any of that. Lifestyle? No, you're not. You're not dealing with your hydration, your sleep, your relaxation, your nourishment. You're exercising. Maybe you're burning more calories. You're stressing yourself out even more, which is nothing what this is about. And so when you try and lose weight, you're not figuring out how to be more aware of your eating and what's going on there. You're not trying to structure it in a way that sets you up for success long term. You have no strategies how to optimize your eating right now in a comfortable, easy way. So no, you're not doing any of that. You're doing this. Just tell me what to eat and I'll eat it. And you wonder why it's not working. That's why. That's why it's not working, because you're doing that and you need to do that. Does that make sense? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Won't be the first time someone called me crazy. Elizabeth says, I'm going to try your tips of changing my worst 2 eating habits. Elizabeth, don't try it. Do it. Commit to it. All of you, if you all changed your worst 2 eating habits, you'd be well on your way to your goal weight. So it's so impactful. I mean, your 2 worst eating habits, your 2 highest calorie eating habits are so impactful to your weight that if you spent nothing else, if all you did for the next year was focus on those, you would fundamentally change your weight for the rest of your life. So good idea. Good idea. Good idea, Elizabeth. What's up, Casey? Thank you. Birthday wishes. Fallon says, that's me. I think about it daily for years, but do nothing. Yeah, no, again, Fallon, that's the usual. That's the usual. Okay. The usual is that people think about weight loss 24 hours a day and just don't do anything, but it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're weak-willed. No, it's none of that stuff. All right. It's that you don't have a good plan ahead of you. It's like, and again, I'm not doing this to teach you. I understand, but I'm just trying to make the point. But it's like, even this book here, right? Now, this is the goal weight blueprint. So this is knowing what to do. There's another part of the program is knowing how to get yourself to do it. It's how to program your mind, right? But those 2 things work together. But even the idea of knowing what to do, right? Because right now, when you think about losing weight, I bet the feeling you have is stress or overwhelm. I bet anytime as you get closer and closer, like actually taking action, right? So you could think about weight loss all day long. That's easy for you to do. But I'm talking about as you start getting like you do, sometimes you catch a reflection, you step on the scale, you go to the doctor, someone says something shitty to you, your clothes don't fit. Now you get really upset. So that's it. I got to do something. And as you get closer and closer to that decision, notice that you start to feel more and more stress and overwhelm from it. And so that's the problem with dieting. It's an all or nothing setup. You either have to jump in 100% or you're not doing it at all. There's no middle ground. Program yourself thin is an all or something strategy. So by definition, it's not overwhelming. Diets are by definition overwhelming. What diet are you going to jump into 20%? Right? That doesn't even compute. Does not compute. So it's like there's no sense. Let me give you an example of what I mean. I love this example, but it's like if you want to learn the piano and the only way piano was taught is if you're really serious about the piano, okay, 8 hours a day. That's how you learn the piano. If you're really serious, 8 hours a day. And you hear that and you say, okay, that's it. And you play for the 8 hours and you muscle your way through the day. The next day you wake up, your fingers are killing you. You hate the piano and you wonder why you can't get yourself to keep going. Is the problem you, or is the problem this concept that you have to do it for 8 hours a day? Do you see what I'm saying? Because that metaphorically is what you're doing with the dieting. This idea that you've got to change your eating 100% because it's Monday. So now my dieting is completely different. It's estimated you make over 200 food decisions a day, but now you're going to make all of those food decisions differently. As if you aren't already exhausted and overwhelmed and stressed out just from living life in 2025. You're already up to here. And now you're going to just pile one more thing on, which is to completely change how you eat and live. It's a huge undertaking, and dieting doesn't set you up to do it accurately. And so I say to you, as an alternative, is we systematically work our way through this. Program yourself thin. You do the first day of your program yourself thin diet. You listen to a 5-minute hypnosis session in the morning that's sent to you. You relax, you breathe, you calm down. You get some good ideas put in your head. Ground yourself to those ideas. Ground yourself to your relaxed, calm version of you. Now go through the day. Make better choices. Then this is the most important piece, is at night you do the program yourself thin technique. This is the most important part of weight loss, in my opinion, because it's set up to fix any mistakes you make. And guess what? You're going to make mistakes. Dieting leaves no room to make mistakes. Dieting's an all or nothing philosophy, right? You're either doing it perfectly or you're not doing it at all. But that's not life. Real life, and especially food and eating, which is such an ingrained, complex thing to work on, you need to come at it consistently. You need resilience. And that resilience needs to be created by the program itself. So program yourself thin leaves space to engage a little bit and still be in the game. And you start strategically, systematically working on things and improving them so they start to run automatically. Then you build on top of those skills and routines, then build on those. And so it's really built around the concept that most people overestimate how much weight they can lose in a month and underestimate how much weight they can lose in a year. And that's directly because that's what dieting has trained you and caused you to think. Dieting is a psychological prison. The way you think about dieting is the main reason you struggle to lose weight. So you've got to change the way you think about weight and weight loss in order to get better results. So if that makes sense. What's up, Sandy? Sandy says, following and listening, calories deficit, down 5 pounds. Finally, I get the diets don't help. I eat too much. Zombies. Hey, all right. All right, Sandy. Are you in the program? You're talking like a person in the program. So, yes, it's the zombies. That's so true, right? Now in the program, we call them eating trances, right? But literally, like a lot of your eating is just trance-like. It's done in trance. Being in hypnosis and in trance is a very natural human thing, So, great job, Sandy. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, and diets don't help. Rowan says, thoughts on tracking macros? I think tracking macros just to get a sense of where you're at might be fine. But again, I would much rather track food versus food stuff. I'd much rather track habits that show up consistently. Your highest calorie habit, your 2 highest calorie habits that show up each week. I'd rather spend my attention on those things rather than tracking macros, because tracking macros keeps you stuck into having to always track macros. So to me, again, program yourself. Then the goal is that, my goal is not for you to lose weight. My goal is for you to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. So again, I want you to lose weight, but it's how I want you to do it that I think makes it so unique. I want you to automate it. And tracking and counting macros, counting every single thing, that micromanagement of it it's not the strategy or the path to walk to get to automaticity, if that makes sense. So that's what I think about it. Sandy says, I just watch you. All right, very good. Well, nice job, Sandy. Keep watching because it's sinking in, I guess, right? Great job. Keep that up. Found says, do you have one book out now and another one coming in October? This isn't out for everyone. This book is just for people in my program if they want to get it. When you get my program, you get the PDF of this automatically. But at the moment right now, I don't send this one out yet with people. I'm going to eventually. Things are changing. But so for right now, this book is not available. If you get the program, you can order a physical version of it. You get a PDF version of it. But yes, I do have a book for mass distribution coming out pretty soon here. And I will let you all know about it. I can't wait. I think you're going to love it. I love it. I think it's a great book. I'm really excited about it. And I will keep you all up to date on it. What's up, Tabitha? How's it going? Where can we buy your books? Yes. Like I said, right now you have to be in the program and then there's a link to it, but you will be able to buy the book from Amazon. And I don't know where else after that, but at least Amazon, it'll be there. Elizabeth says, I'm going to try your tips of changing my worst 2 eating habits. Yeah, great. That's a great place to start for sure. Lena says, sorry, just joining. What were the 2 tips, please? That's just a tip. That's just a general tip that I talk about is that the idea. Okay. So just as an example, right, is that usually when you try and lose weight, you try and change all of your eating, right? Habits, schmabbits, right? You're just going to change everything from that point forward. All your eating different now. But again, that just, when people say that to me, it just reveals a complete and total lack of knowledge about how your brain works. Your brain is set up to be lived on autopilot. You live most of your life on autopilot. Most of your eating choices and behaviors they're decided in the background. You're just along for the ride. You're not consciously like evaluating and making decisions every second of the day what you're going to eat. I think that's where dieters really confuse themselves. So most of your eating is done on autopilot. So instead of thinking that you're just going to consciously change everything you eat forever consciously, like you're not going to, by the way, you're not. If it ever works for you, let me know, but it's not. So I'm not looking to hear from you. So instead, strategically, I would rather work on my 1 or 2 worst eating habits, right? So for me, it was eating at night. 7 nights a week, I ate after dinner. I'd eat dinner, have some dessert, wait an hour or 2, and then eat until I went to bed, basically. So, you know what I mean? Like, so instead of saying, oh, well, from now on, I'm going to change all my eating at once, I strategically focused my energies on my nighttime snacking. And it took me months. I mean, 6 months, 7, I don't remember now, but let's just say 6 months to finally get a handle on that habit. Now I can already hear 6 months just to get rid of one habit. Oh my God. Yeah. How about this though? I haven't snacked at night. I haven't snacked at night in 30 years. So was it worth it? I would say so. You know, that was probably a habit that added 500 low ball, 500 to 1500 calories a day to my body. So spending the time needed to really genuinely find an antidote and a solution to that so that I naturally don't do it anymore, was that worth my time and energy? I would have to say yes, you know? But again, it reveals a different mindset. It reveals a different approach than what dieters are doing. And dieters, again, what I get here for, because we're so cooked in the sauce. I mean, you know, they say it's hard to read the outside of the pill bottle when you're inside it. We're inside the pill bottle of dieting. We've been so, think about this. I think about this all the time. In our lives at this point, if you're shit, it's pretty much everyone alive. I mean, 70, 75 even, this shit was starting. Pretty much our entire lives at this point, we've been steeped in diet marketing. I mean, millions and millions of diet ads we've seen, you know? And so it's important that you realize that and that you've never even been a chance, a real fair chance to control your weight because you've had diet mentality shoved down your brain since you've been born, reinforced by people that you love. Where all of us have been exposed to the same diet bullshit, and it becomes an echo chamber. And it becomes a chamber you can't escape from. It's a hall of mirrors. But it's bullshit. Dieting is bullshit. Dieting doesn't work for anyone, folks, not long term. But that's what they did. They've sold us weight as a temporary thing that we're going to do all this shit to lose weight. That's always the focus. It's always on the losing of it. It's never on the living at it, which is why no one can stay at their goal weight. It's never been part of the promise. When you really look at it, dieting is never promising you to live at your goal weight forever. It's all about a promise of getting to your goal weight. And no one stays there. 95% of dieters that lose weight put the weight back on. So Karen says, when setting my goal weight, is it better to focus on the lowest final goal or to set smaller step goals like 50-pound total loss, 5 or 10 pounds at a time? I'm asking what is best to focus on in the self-hypnosis sessions. I think that what I would say is, you know, I think it's fine to set a big goal weight first. I think that's fine. I think you should set that goal knowing loosely that it could change and you could tweak and optimize it. Okay. But I think it's nice to start with just a general goal, 50 pounds, whatever you want, you know, that's a nice big goal kind of you're aiming at. Okay. I would give it more context. So I think most people really make a mistake by just focusing on a number. You've got to make that number give you more meaning, but I'm going to let that go for this second. And then once you have, like, let's just say you got a 50-pound weight loss goal, ultimately, I would absolutely break that goal up into 5-pound increments. I think 5 pounds is a wonderful increment. Now, again, some people like 10 pounds, so it's up to you to figure out what you like. But I think I like to do both at the same time. I have kind of like a big sense of a goal. I do this when I'm driving, right? If I got like an 8-hour drive ahead of me, I've got it broken down into parts. You know, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm out of this state. Now I'm off this road. Now I'm out of the state. So it's like, I think it's important to have both. Like the big goal of where I'm going is driving, you know what I mean? It's pulling me a lot, doing the heavy lifting. And then in the moment to moment experience of the 8-hour trip, it's the excitement of like, oh, now I'm out of this state. Oh, now I'm in this state. Now I'm on this road. Oh, now I crossed that bridge. You see, they both work together in concert. So yes, Karen, I would do both of those, and then figure out 5 or 10, which one kind of resonates best for you. Craig says, how much? Yeah, go to if you go to Program Yourself Thin, I'll give you all a little secret. It's still going on now, and there's a little secret if you want to get the program at a discount, is that you can obviously always get it at Program Yourself Thin, and if you go and listen to if you go sign up for the hypnosis session and listen to the training, you get there's a special offer that's still there. So you can check that out, at least of today. And I can't promise that offer's gonna be going. That offer's about to be pulled. So the program's gonna be $500 all the time. Craig says, I have that habit eating at night because I didn't eat right or enough to keep me full. What was I supposed to do? Yeah, exactly, Craig. Well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do better the next day, nourish yourself better the next day. But you can never know that. That's why Program Yourself Thin. Again, there's two main parts. There's knowing what to do. There's having like the weight blueprint that's customized to you. That's part of it. The other part is being able to get yourself to do it. Right. Again, knowledge is not enough. I can just tell you what to do. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. You need to have some ability to run your own brain. That's the Program Yourself Thin technique. And the Program Yourself Thin technique, the core part of it is we kind of reflect on the day, correct something, and we project into tomorrow and rehearse the day we want to have. But you're right on the money, Craig. You're close to right on the money. You don't have the technique to do it, but you're in the right idea that, yeah, a lot of times I ate at night because I didn't eat proper during the day. I always say this, a lot of times where the problem shows up is not where it was created. And that's why the redo technique is so powerful, because it helps you kind of put things together that you may otherwise miss. And once you realize them, it's better. Oh, that's Tammy. Okay. Tammy Joe. Yeah. Right. Funny Girl Yaya says, hi, I'm back from vacay, lost 3 pounds, total of 10 pounds. Looking forward to start reading your workbook. So yes, Funny Girl Yaya, that is awesome. So it is possible. I mean, I don't even recommend it necessarily, but sometimes people in the program just get so locked in that they just lose weight even on vacation. But you certainly don't need to lose weight on vacation, but it's fun when you do, and you had a great time. And that does happen. So great job, Funny Girl. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Glad you let me know about that. Yeah. Sandy says, yeah, we're brainwashed to believe we can't do it without magic potions. BS. Yes. Agreed. Dieting really is, boy, it is just the center of magical potions. It's just nonstop. So, Tammy says, how to get my mind to focus on hypnosis to set my mind right. How to get my mind to focus on hypnosis. Well, I don't know. It's just like, it's like got to be more than that typically. That's why, like, I have, again, my program's so good. It's so funny. I mean, listen, I am a humble person. Okay. But I'm also live in the world of reality. I have I think the most, my dogs are crying. I have one of the most, why am I doing that? Maybe my dog's telling me to stop bragging, Jim. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah. Tammy says, thank you for the info. Yeah, you're welcome, Tammy. Make sure you go get that hypnosis session. Go listen to the hypnosis session, and that'll kind of answer some of those questions for you, I think. Nancy says, lost 65 pounds. Now Nada only 15 from goal. Okay, Nancy, but celebrate the goddamn 65 pounds, though. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it to me. I can't tell you the number of people that will be 75% of their way to their goal. It's a common number. It could be any percentage it is, but 75 really just sticks in my head. I can't tell you the number of people that are 75% of their way to their goal. And it's like when you talk to them, they talk as if they're so they want to lose 75 pounds and they're 60 pounds down, but they talk like they haven't lost a pound yet, So it's such an interesting thing. And I get it, because dieters always need to the most effective dieters typically are the ones that are the maddest at themselves. No, right. Dieting is really it's around a pain-based motivation system. So most dieting starts with pain. You step on the scale, you see your reflection, you see a picture of yourself, your clothes don't fit, you go to the doctor, someone says something rude. Oops. And you feel a bunch of pain and you get so upset. You say, that's it. I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to lose the weight. And you stay focused on that pain. Focus on the pain. Because the second you start to feel good, and this is why most people, once they start getting positive results, a lot of people, they're gone, right? Because now they don't feel the pain they felt when they started. But then there's the people just focus on the pain. They magnify it, right? And then you talk to them and they're 60 pounds down, right? 60 pounds down for an 80-pound weight loss goal. So you're 80% of the way to your goal. And you probably think and feel as if you hadn't lost any weight. I find that very interesting with dieters. And even when they get to your goal weight, you can't really embrace it and achieve it because as soon as you feel good, you don't know how to control your eating anymore. So I don't know if you're doing that, Nancy, but I hope not. Bookworm says, makes sense. Yep. Elizabeth says, I will buying cakes every day and eating after dinner. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. That's what you're focusing on. Ellie Heck says, baby steps are working for me, but it's slow. Yeah. Who gives a shit, though? I mean, honestly, the best things in life kind of are slow. And what's it matter? Because at the end of the day, how long do you want to keep the weight off for? How long would you like to be thin and healthy and happy? For a year? 6 months? Oh, forever? So what's the rush? You know? Because you're going to do this forever. This is a never ending marathon. So what's the rush? I can't wait till you all read my book. I'm telling you, I think so much now in terms of this. I love this book so much. It explains the Program Yourself Thin system, what it does technically. I'm just talking about this for 1 second. I'll get to your questions. Basically, this is Program Yourself Thin, the goal weight blueprint, right? So like I said, there's another half, which has its own section called transformation. All in all, there's 40 chapters, and each chapter is a couple pages. It's short. It's little. It's written in the style of the Tao Te Ching, if you know about that. It's poetic, right? It's real easy to read. It's hypnotic stories. It's real easy to kind of go in. It's meant to be that way, but it's meant to be experiential. As you read it, you learn, you grow, you evolve. And I can't wait for you all to read it because I address a lot of these things, and I think in an elegant way. I'll leave it up to you to give me the final, thumbs up or down on it. But I think it's so good, and I love it, and it's going to answer a lot of things you all get stuck on in a way that I think is very elegant. Juan says, what piece of advice would you give to someone who works as a line cook that's 77 pounds overweight? Yeah, Juan. Okay. That can seem like a challenge, but in reality, everything's a challenge. So everyone's got strengths and weaknesses. The first thing I would do, Juan, is I would get clear on my goal. What is your goal? You know what I mean? And I know people take this for granted. A lot of people, right? What is the assuming thing, right? Don't assume. And so don't assume you're really motivated. Motivation is not a measurement of how much you think about losing weight and how much you would like to. Do you understand that? Motivation is a specific measurement of the action you're taking. So I don't care how much you think about weight loss. I don't care how much you tell me you want to lose weight. None of that's motivation at all. To me, I would just watch what you did for the week. And I would see. You either eat in a way that aims you at your goal weight, or you eat in a way that aims you at being overweight. And if you're not aiming at being at your goal weight and doing things on that path, you're not motivated. It's that simple. So that one would be my first place to start is, what is your goal? What is your goal? And why? So why would you like to lose weight? How would it help you in your life? How would it help you in your career? How would it help you in your relationships? How would it help your health? How would it help you as a person who you want to live as? I would get clear on what the motivation is. Because if you don't have strong motivation, nothing's going to work anyways. Then I would get to the strategies. Bookworm says, Jim, will your program and your new book be almost the same? Do I need both? Yeah, they're written. Here's what's going to happen. Ultimately, the big picture of Program Yourself Thin. The book that's coming out is going to be very inexpensive. So again, I'm going to put it on Amazon. I'm going to make it very inexpensive. And so that's going to be, I don't want to say peanuts because I don't want to be, money's money, but it's going to be very expensive. Under $10, I'm expecting. Again, I don't know what the numbers are yet. I haven't looked it up, but I'm imagining definitely under 10 bucks. That will give you kind of a real sense of what the whole program is. And it's just going to help you too. So by the way, it's not a description of the program. It just uses all the components of the program. It just talks about them. That's not making sense. Okay, hold on. Let me just show you. So the way the program's laid up, right, is it'll go through like your mindset blueprint. So it'll talk about your motivation, your self-image, your habits, your emotions, all of these things. It'll get into lifestyle, talk about water, sleep, relaxation. It talks about all the components of the program in the same structure as it, but it just talks about them in a overview kind of way that really puts a point across. And so I think just reading this book alone is going to be profound. You could never read Program Yourself Thin, never hear of it, never look into it again. This book's going to help you. Okay. That being said, if you read the book and you're like, oh, I really like this, I want to go deeper into it, there is going to be another book that's going to go deep dive into all of the strategies, deep dive, everything you need to know. And then if you choose to, the program will be there, and the program's an experience. The program's like signing up for college, and it's set up to be initially an 8-week program, and you get hypnosis sessions every day. You kind of bookend your day. There's support systems in there. You get the blueprint that you kind of go through specifically with all the questions to help you create that blueprint. And there's the program yourself then technique, which shows you how to run your own mind. So that kind of walks you through it, but that's like going to college. Okay. The book is kind of an overview description of it. And then the first book is, so I may still sound confusing, but it'll all come clear the next month or so. So anyways, oh, my microphone went out. It's working now though, I think. Oh, we're still no sound, huh? Oh boy. It's never worked, huh? Here it comes. Buy a book on lip reading. I don't know. Is it working now? I don't know why that wouldn't be working. Sorry. Can you hear me now? There he is. Oh, I'm sorry, TikTok. Everyone else can hear me. Sorry. I said such great stuff too. I know. Everyone else can hear me. TikTok couldn't. Don't know what happened there. That was really weird. So I apologize. Oh man, it was such good stuff too. Anyways, you can always go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube, Jim Kitsoulis, there's replays of this if you care enough to go back and watch that. It's also a podcast. Okay. Just so you know, every day I take these and I put them up as a podcast. You can go to any podcast platform, search Program Yourself Thin, and it'll be there. All right. Funny Girl Yaya says, thanks. We ate out every day, just ordered accordingly. And half the time I never even finished my plate. Amazing, but totally had yummy food. Yeah. So again, I love that stuff. So thank you for sharing that, Funny Girl. I really appreciate that, because I think sometimes people, I get it. Listen, I get it. We're all skeptical these days, right? Fair enough. So I understand if people are skeptical. Okay. But I share with this again. Yeah. Funny Girl. Yeah. She's in the program. And that's what happens. That's what I'm trying to say. Like sometimes you go on vacation and you have a greater time you've ever had and you lose weight. And I know that doesn't even seem like it's possible in the world, but it is. When you think different, it is different. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. 20 minutes later. Yeah. My bad. I got caught up on some of the questions. That does happen. I don't know. But I am every day. So I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern. And yeah, so come check me out. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here too, though. So thank you, everyone. Sorry, TikTok. I apologize for the last 20 minutes. But yes, if you're not in my world, please click the link in my bio. Go get the free hypnosis session I give you. This week, it's going to be 2 free hypnosis sessions because I'm giving away another hypnosis session. The main one you get is called The New Thin Me. I'm also giving you a bonus one called The First 5 Pounds. So it's designed to help you get kickstarted and drop the first 5 pounds. And then you will have the opportunity, if you choose to donate to the Brick House if you want to as well there. So that's there. Go to Program Yourself Then and sign up for the hypnosis session. And or hey, Deanna, what's up, Deanna? The program is so worth it. Oh, I'll put that up there. And yeah, I'm here every Monday through Friday. So any questions you may have, please pop in here and ask them. Let me help you out as best I can. There is a better way to lose weight. I will talk about it and tell you about it every day. I'm here at noon Eastern, usually Monday through Friday. If you miss the lives and you like to listen to this, it's also a podcast called Program Yourself Then. Go check it out on all the podcast platforms. And that is it. So, all right, everyone, have a super duper day, and we will talk soon. Bye.